morning, everyone. Are we all awake? Yes. All right. Okay. Good. Someone is paying attention. All right. So, as what Ivy mentioned, my name is Aldrin. All right. Just 30 seconds about myself. I've been an estate agent over the last 22, 23 years. So it has been a long journey. Okay, what I'm going to share with everyone today is Mont Kiara market trends. Something very simple, something very light, okay, very easy to understand. Okay, so what I'm going to share with you is just a simple market trend, okay, something very easy for you all to digest. Let's look at Mont Kiara aerial view, all right, over the last 30 years. So this is where we are over here, and this is an aerial view of Mont Kiara back in the 80s. So if we are in the 80s today, we'll be sitting under the trees, all right? So, Mont Kiara spanned from a history of over the last 30 years. Oops. And this is in 1995, all right? Roughly about 5 to 8 years into the development of Mont Kiara. You can see some development that's ongoing over here, all right? So this is where we are, the sales gallery. Pines is somewhere around here, okay? And fast forward 10 years later in 2007, you can see a significant increase of development that's being developed, all right? So if you look over here in 2007, this is where the Dutamas is, where Publica is today, okay? And fast forward again in 2017, all right, you can see a significant numbers of development that's being developed, yeah? Okay, so two major components of development in Mont Kiara, very, very easy. Who can name me the two major components? No free gift though. Wow, no free gifts means nobody is going to answer. Walao. Okay, now I'll answer myself. Residential condominiums, very straightforward, all right? Okay, Mont Kiara is known as an area that's a lot of condos, am I right? To the extent, you know, I've been doing sales over the last 22 years. People will be telling me, is there a glut in Mont Kiara? Is there a glut in Mont Kiara? Is there a glut in Mont Kiara? And yet, yearly, everyone is buying. And yearly, the prices actually gone up over the last 30 years, averagely. Yeah. So whether is there a glut or not is for you all to think about it. Okay. The next component will be commercial, basically retail and offices. What you have is in the mid-90s, I remember back in 1995, Sunrise started developing Plaza Mont Kiara, just down the road. If you all know where is the McDonald's, further down the road, so those days I remember very clearly, they come up with a very good tagline, live, work, and play. All right, so that is where there's offices right on top, and you have retails on the ground floor where Starbucks, McDonald's are today. All right, so now, so I said Mont Kiara has a 30 years history. Now, let's look at over the last 20 or 30 years, the development of the condos, all right, in Mont Kiara. So I'm going to give you, in sequence, break into three parts, you know, in the 90s, what are the condos that's being built between 2000 to 2009, the list of the condos, and 2010 to present, all right? Something very, very interesting. So between 1990 and 1999, these are the condos that is being built and completed. All right, so what you have is Pines, Pelangi, Sofia, Vista Kiara, Lanai Kiara. So these are the very, very early years of Mont Kiara. Not many development then, all right? So in the span of about 9 years, there were about 5 condos that is being completed. Now, what I'm going to show you is from 2000 to 2010. All right, so let's look at the list of condos that is being built and completed during the period of 2000 to 2009, in the period of about 10 years. 2000, 2009, what you have are all these condos. Yeah, you have Astana, Bayou, Palma, Angku Puri, Almas Puri, Kiara Sutra. All right, still within this period, another 6 condos being built and being delivered or completed. And still within the same period, another few condos, all right? So that's why a lot of people will say, hey, Mont Kiara is, there's a glut, Okay, is that really a glut? The answer is yes and no. And still in the same period, you have another few condos that is being built and being developed. So as you can see, over the last 30 years, all right, if we can just loosely break into three parts, all right, the first 10 years, the second 10 years, and the current 10 years, you will see the first 10 years, of course, being a new area. Perhaps demand then is a bit less. Not very many condos are being developed. But in the second 10 years, all right, between 2000 to 2009, easily there's about 20 over condos that is being built by a few developers. So I'm not sure whether the next slide is going to be in the same period or not. No, okay. So come present, over the last 8 years, from 2010 to today, these were the condos that's being built and being handed over. In the same period as well, another 6. Notable one will be Wolf Suite, MK28. MK28 is just right to your left, all right? And in the same period as well, you have a Corys Kiara 163, Safina R22. So a Corys was very recently being handed over. It's just along this road. If you travel towards McDonald, 2 plots before McDonald's on the right, that will be a Corys. Yeah, okay. So let's look at the development trends between 1990s to present. So this is where we are, all right? So we are here. This road over here will be right behind me, all right? And this road over here will be to your left all the way down to McDonald's. And this slide is going to show you the trend of the development over the last 30 years. Something very interesting for those who are looking into investment, okay? Now, everyone wants to make money, am I right? Okay, you buy and, you know, a lot of my clients will ask me, what if I buy today, 3 years down the road, I'm going to sell, how much money I'm going to make? So the usual answer is I got to be a fortune teller, seriously, okay? Now, investment in property is very simple. Don't have to complicate matters. Keep things in a very simple manner, all right? Go where the money is, like what they said, all right? So understanding the development trend is a very simple basis of where should you invest, now, tomorrow, or many years down the road, okay? So let's look at these slides. So in the 90s, these are the plots of land that has been developed and built, all right? So remember the very first slide that I showed you, the list of the condos? These are the one, all right? So this is where we are. This is actually the main artery road of Mont Kiara. So this is in the 90s, not many development back then. So we are talking about the first 10 years of the 30 years history of Mont Kiara. Okay, now you look at 2000 to 2009. Remember I was showing you just now the list of condos that was built between 2000 to 2009. Now, let's look at the significance of the development. So all these plots are the plots that has been developed, built, and delivered during the period of 2000 and 2009. So easily you can see, perhaps with your naked eyes, 3 to 4 times more than what has been developed during the period of 1990s, all right? Now, for those who has been investing in property over the last few years, Mont Kiara in 2008, the prices seems to, or rather Mont Kiara was in a way hit in 2008, all right? Now, there's actually a reason to it. Remember 2008 subprime crisis, even though it doesn't really affect Malaysian market, but in a way it does, all right? Now, property investment is all about timely oversupply, or rather timely supply and demand. So can you imagine between a period of 2000 to 2009, there were so many condos that is being built, and you come to the end of 2008 when subprime crisis hit US, in a way affected Malaysia. Just think about it, all right? The number of condos that is in the market. Okay, but being a prime area, of course, 2 to 3 years later, in 2010, 2011, Mont Kiara market actually did, in a way, recover, all right? So now, look at the 2010 and present. Not many condos are being built in Mont Kiara, okay? Not as many as 2000 to 2009. Okay, so we are already coming into 2018. There's still another 2 years. Probably there's going to be another 1 or 2 condos that's going to be launched. All right. Incidentally, there's going to be a new condo that's going to be launched by Sunrise, MK27, somewhere nearby here. All right. So this will give you a very simple overview of how the development trend over the last 30 years. Yeah. So now, just one glance. If you look at the whole Mont Kiara, okay, you will observe that not many lands are left, all right, for development. So this is actually a pretty much matured area. So when you go into a matured area, what will be the usual figures that we look at as investors, all right? A lot of people who want to invest in a property, they will say that I want a 7%, sorry, I want a 6% return. You know, those days when I started back in the 90s, is 10% return. Those were the days. Remember, those were the days. BLR and your interest is base lending rate plus 2%. Yeah. So you see, whether you would like to have 5% return, 6% return, 7% return, or whatever percent return, of course, to an investors, we want as high as possible. Am I right? But to the minimum, your return should be able to fully subsidize your cost of finance. So what is the cost of finance today? Who knows the answer? How much interest are we paying when you borrow money from the bank? Quick. 4.3, 4.5, yeah. So if you have a return, all right, of let's say about 5% return, okay, and that 5% return from your rental is able to cover your cost of finance, not necessarily covering your full installment, and if that property has a good upside for appreciation, then that will be a good investment, all right? So that is the very basic of investment. 2 parts of it for your return. Number 1, your rental return. Number 2, capital appreciation, yeah? Just a very quick one. Some commercial units, yeah, you can buy shop offices and you can get about 7% return. Let's say, for example, certain parts of Shah Alam, where they are leasehold, all right? Why are they able to give you a 7% return is for a very simple reason, okay? Rental rates is actually the overhead of businesses, which are your tenant, am I right? So if that area has a good catchment area, the rental rate will go up. But in the long run, I'm just making a very loosely assumption, all right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that leasehold property you cannot buy. But if you look at within the whole of Shah Alam, majority are leasehold. Shah Alam, leasehold property traditionally will not appreciate as much as freehold, okay? In a very loosely assumption. So over the years, when the property does not appreciate that much and your rental rate goes up, if you were to buy today, your rental return is good, 7%, am I right? So the point I'm going to make is, every action has a reaction, meaning to say, it's very difficult to find a property today where you can get a very good return and yet a very good capital appreciation. Okay, you can't have the best of both. If we can have, which is not impossible, but comes very difficult, then, you know, probably in 5 years' time, you can invest in a few properties of that and retire. All right? So now, let's get on to the next slide. Trend of current average transacted per square foot for condos in Mont Kiara. Okay, remember I was sharing with you just now the 3 phases, if I can call it, over the last 30 years. In the 1990s, 2000 to 2009, 2010 to present, okay? So what I did was, I was plugging in the figure of average transacted price. Now, all these you can't really see because they're all very, very small. Now, these are the list of condos that I've actually shown you just now over the slides. Okay, easily about 42 to 46 of it. So it actually took me until 3 o'clock in the morning to plug in all this. All right. So, so what you will see over here, these are the average transacted per square foot price for each and every condo. Okay. Now, there's an objective why I want to show you this slide. Okay. So, let's start with this. Now, remember in the early 1990s, 1990 to 1999, there was only about 5 to 6 condos that's being built. Am I right? So, if you look at it, these are the condos that was built in the early 90s, and these are the current average transacted price. Okay, now you just hold that for a second. You look at this section. These are the list of condos that was completed during 2000 to 2009, okay? Every single condo within this period, and these are the average transacted price. Now, for your information, all these transacted price, I've sourced it from this website called bricks.my, all right? Some of you have already known. You can check the average transacted price from that website, okay? And you look at, to your far right, completed, under construction, 2010 to present. So these are the list of condo that is being built, that is being developed, that's being delivered from 2010, including some of what you call the projects that is actually under construction. Now, there's one very significant thing that you can see. Of course, the price depending on the condo, some are slightly higher and some are slightly lower, but averagely, you look at the trend of prices. Now, there is one very simple deduction, okay, in a layman's way. Very, very simple deduction. Older condos would not be able to fetch as high as newer condo, all right? Very simple assumption. But of course, a lot of condos, you have to, a lot of things you have to look into case-by-case basis. So I'm making a general assumption over here, and this is backed by statistics. So what you can see is those condos that is built, all right, in the 90s, averagely, you can still get about 500 to 600 per square foot. Yeah, pretty good buy. You know, you can say so. All right. 2000 to 2009, you'll be looking at about 700 to 800, and presently over the last 8 years, some even touching more than 1,000. Yeah. Okay, now there is a reason why. So older condos means why the prices doesn't really go up? Outdated? Am I right? Maybe maintenance over the years may not be that good. Yeah, it could be certain facilities that was built, say, 20 years ago does not cater to the current consumer needs. Am I right? So now, another thing about property investment, other than your return, you know, from rental and appreciation, every single investment in property that you have, every single product, there's actually an economic lifespan, all right? Economic lifespan meaning to say, as a property grow older, all right, not all, okay, but especially when it comes to condos, okay? Now, what is economic lifespan? Economic lifespan is something like your expiry date, all right? For example, if you go and buy a Campbell soup, yeah, let's say in Tesco, and you will see the expiry date, am I right? So if you have 2 Campbell soup on the rack, one with the expiry date of 31st December, and one with the expiry date of 2020, am I right? Which one are you willing to pay more? Of course, the one with the longer expiry date, am I right? So it's actually the same concept. So every single property, there's actually such thing called an economic lifespan. So as it grow older, the economic lifespan become less, all right? Become shorter, sorry. Now, for many reasons. Number one could be, if it's offices, could be lack of parking. If you talk about condos in Mont Kiara, could be outdated design, all right? Could be maintenance not being very well maintained. It could be also a lifestyle. Now, people who buy into Mont Kiara are actually buying into lifestyle. Am I right? So can you imagine those who are in the 50s and 60s, imagine your kid, what kind of taste do they want? Very different from all of us, am I right? Okay, our fathers do not go to Starbucks to have coffee, am I right? We go to Starbucks, am I right? So you see, it's the same thing as well. So you see, many a times when you invest in property, everyone want to get a lower price, am I right? So we are also Malaysian, am I right? Yeah, someone want to sell you something for 1 ringgit, you will start negotiating down to 80 cents. Nothing wrong with that. But you see, investment, the word itself is investment. It's what is your return for every single dollar that you put in, how many cents are coming back, all right? If you put in $1 and you get back 60 cents, you will be better off than you put in 50 cents and you get back 10 cents, am I right? So this is an investment. This is not a consumer product, you know. This is not like a car where you buy today, you lose a lot of money, am I right? Now, Buying a property and buying a car is totally a different extreme. When you buy a car today, your first 3-year depreciation is going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot, am I right? As compared to, let's say you own a car over the last 8 years, and for the next 2 years, your depreciation on the car is going to be very little. Now, you think about it, flip it the other way around, a property, yeah? So it's totally different, okay? So property investment, number one, look at the basis. That is the most important thing. Any question? No? All right. Okay, I move on. All right. So when things get congested, what do? Sorry? Move out. Move to where? Lesser congestion. All right. So do we move to Kajang? Do we move to Cyberjaya? Do we move to... Oh, I saw the lady over on my left say no. Why not? Too far, am I right? Far is a relative thing. People who stay in Kajang, you ask them, would you want to move to Mont Kiara? They tell you it's too far. Am I right? So distance far is relative, okay? So, so when things get congested, what do? Move out, in a way, all right, okay? So let's look at the map again. Sorry. So this is Mont Kiara, am I right? So the previous two slides, I show you the plots of land that is being developed over the last 30 years, and you will know that this area is pretty much very congested in a way. So scarcity, and you know something, there's really nothing wrong with congestion in property sense. So whenever we sell property, the first thing is people will come and say that, so jam, how to live in that place, am I right? And you see places which are jammed, the prices are shooting up every other years, am I right? So there's always, you see, you can always translate all this down to scarcity of land, okay? If there is a huge demand within that area, developer will love to build all these condos and make a lot of money out of each and every one of us, am I right? So we are all be like suckers and we'll start moving in. Okay, or our tenants will be like suckers and start moving in, all right? So then you'll be congested. So over the years, when the land that is available within that area become lesser, means scarcity of land. Scarcity is, if we all learn in economics, all right? Prices will go up, all right? So think about it. Think about it, Mont Kiara. Imagine, visualize 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, yeah? You're going to buy a condo over here. You want to buy a condo where the economic lifespan is long, am I right? And there's still a room to grow because of scarcity of land. So having said so, let's look a bit out of Mont Kiara. So when things get congested, the first one that will move out will not be the investor. The first one that will move out will be the developer, all right? That's what they do best, yeah, all right? So this is what happened, Dutamas. This is just down the road. If you observe the market, all right, over the last 5 years to 6 years, as I've shown you just now, over the last 2010 until now, there were not many development in Mont Kiara. Especially over the last 5 years, there seems to be a lot more over at Dutamas, okay? It's natural, all right? Dutamas, you talk about 10, 15 years ago, those who stay in Mont Kiara will think that Dutamas is like a kampong. Yeah, but today is very different. You will not be surprised if one day, maybe your investment in Dutamas is going to be a lot better. I do not know, all right? So now, let's look at Dutamas closer. So when you think of a Dutamas, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Sorry? Publica. So what do you get in Publica? Shopping mall. Amenities, am I right? What else? Dutamas? Sorry? Yeah, okay. So there's a lot of things happening in Dutamas, all right, okay. So I'm going to skip that for today, all right. Now, the major icon thing that you can get in Dutamas is Publica. That's right, shopping. Women love shopping, am I right? So that's why developers build all that, so all the women will spend more money and the husband got to work harder. So that is what it is. That's how the world goes around, okay? So what you get is Publica, all right? And of course, there's actually quite a lot of development that is actually within Dutamas as well. So Publica has been around for how many years? How old is Publica? Seriously, I don't have the answer. 10 years, is it? Is that right, Publica? 8 years. Okay, I actually do not know, all right? So I'll need to Google that. Now, you see, the important thing is this. If you talk about this area, Mont Kiara, okay, you just do a bit of observation, okay? Because a lot of things, where to invest and what to invest is already there. You just need to observe with your naked eyes. You just look at this road, yeah? You just look at this road. What do you have is Plaza Mont Kiara, where the McDonald's is. All right, then you have a Corys. Then you have you have one Mont Kiara. Towards the end of the road, at the junction on the left, is a shopping mall. Am I right? Yeah? Now, again, think about it, all right? The average prices of the condos that is close to the retail area over here. Not all, but majority. You think about it, okay? From the slide that I show you about the prices, that is higher between 2000 and 2009. So you see, amenities is very important, okay? Let's not talk about accessibility. Accessibility is great. They have all the major highways and things like that, and yet there's still congestion, okay? So nothing wrong with that. We are Malaysian, so we are already used to it. So live with it. Am I right? Okay? So other than the congestion, accessibility is important, all right? Amenities is important, yeah? And you know that Mont Kiara today, as I've shown you, is running out of land, yeah? So the next place that you may want to look at will be Dutamas, all right? So incidentally, Sunrise is having a project called Solaris Park. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I tend to screw it up towards the end. Yes, the return of Solaris Park. Okay, I shall not click anymore. All right, so Solaris Park, which is, if you all can turn to your right, that is a scale model. Someone was telling me that it looks like the condos in Hong Kong. All right, so then I was telling him, then it's good then. Imagine what is the per square foot of the condos in Hong Kong. Am I right? So those who want to find out more about Solaris Park, there are sales staff at the back that you can get more information later on, all right?